The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Welcome everybody, friends and pals, guys and gals, boys and girls around the world. Pop a squat, pop open a cold one with all of your friends. It is Wednesday night, a couple of hairs past 10 p.m., and you have been granted access to the uncensored, uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock. Folks, welcome to a brand new episode of The Black Files.
Absolutely, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's going to be quite an emotional roller coaster, and I know that's me understating it, but just setting the tone.
I have to fix the audio thing. It's not just setting the tone. It is definitely us going in here, getting ready to rock and roll with this. Folks, thank you very much. Whoop, here we go. Thank you very much for joining us on The Black Files. I'm your host, Juan Arauz, one of the heads of Ravens Flock, the tech guru of the team. My tech guru-ness was tested literally 3 minutes before we went on the air. And it's very simple. You're probably wondering, what the hell, Juan? Why are you talking to us? But your microphone, your pretty blue mic with the pretty blue ribbon, is all the way over here. It's simple. The boom pole broke off. So I'm using the Blue Yeti microphone that we use for our Let's Play show Los Amigos Play, which airs Saturday afternoons at 5 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, that's what you're hearing That's how you're hearing my dulcet tones. And of course, speaking of Los Amigos Play, our living it of the Ravens flock, Angel Mendez, can't join us tonight. He's got family business. He's got stuff he's got to deal with. Of course, he's with us in spirit, as usual. And let's not forget, of course, folks, let's go ahead and say hello to the man with the plan, the big bald bastard himself, the host of the Ravens Flock, the host of Wrestle Rewind. Folks, give it up for Mr. Jose Casabona!
Hello, everyone. How you guys doing? It is Wednesday night, March 8th, and we've got like I said, we've got a lot to uncover here. Don't worry, Juancho. I'm pretty sure between you and me, we're just enough for what we who we need to talk about, not what, who.
I really don't even want to give him a who or a what. He's barely a human being over here, but that's only because
I'm trying really hard to hold back from making a Grinch joke.
No, let's not besmirch the fine work of Jim Carrey as the Grinch on this one, shall we? Let's leave Jim Carrey's work and let's leave the fine works of Dr. Seuss out of this.
No, you got a point. Let's do that. Let's not do that. That would be unfair. All right, I'll go ahead and take care of the housekeeping while you get things ready. So, folks, much like all our other shows on this channel, we are simulcasting on youtube.com/TheRavensFlock and twitch.tv/TheRavensFlock online. Hit the subscribe or the follow button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our media content. Leave your questions in the comments down below, and we'll answer as many as we can while we're live. And if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens Flock, then you can become an inner flocker. For $4.99 a month, you will have exclusive access to many amazing perks that comes with being a member. One, tell them.
Well, for all the inner flockers we've got in the chat, and I know you're out there, go ahead and show off those lovely custom emojis that we've made just for you, along with your membership badge. You also get access to Members First and Members Only content, a special discount to our merch store, link in the description right there. I also shortened the link. It's now, like I said, tiny.cc/shoptrf. So in case if the link itself doesn't work for you, you can type it out the old-fashioned way. And I made it sweet and simple for you guys not to worry about it. And like I said, you get Members First and Members Only content. You get access to us, the Ravens Flock. You get access to get to talk to us, give us your feedback, give us your take on our channel. Let us know your thoughts, your suggestions on how we can cover things and the sort of stories and topics that you want to hear from us. I also want to say hello to the folks we've got in our YouTube chat right now. We've got Vixen, the very first inner flocker on the chat. Hello there, Vixen. We have Jen Pearson, Nikki Bella running point for the Mod Squad tonight. We've got Lisa Boo. Emily Morris is in the chat. Jen Pearson, I believe I said that, did I? Yes, I did. And holy snap, Sing. I'm not sure who Sing is. They're saying Jose, the Latino Morpheus, with your glasses. And holy crap, Jane. Raw by Jane is on the chat as well. Hello there, Jane. Welcome to the Black Files. We hope you enjoy.
Welcome.
Now,
see, the reason I wear sunglasses is because the future of the Ravens Flock is ever so bright.
So is that why you always take it off on Wrestle Rewind and on Los Amigos Play? Because your eyes? Is it because your eyes have already adjusted, or because our two of our coolest shows aren't that big for you, even though you're the main host of one of them?
Those are separate shows, Juancho. Therefore, they're non-canon to the main show. You just don't understand the expanded universe.
I hate you. I hate how that makes sense.
I figured we need an icebreaker because oh boy, this has got to be one of the longest tenured stories that we have followed in our channel history, and not necessarily for the better. Well, that really depends on your worldview.
Afraid so. Now they were letting me know in the chat that there was a bit of an echo whenever you were talking, Jose. So I guess it's okay. I'm trying to adjust it. My normal mic, like I said, the boom pole over here busted off, so I can't have our usual ever so immaculate audio quality. Because I struck an excellent balance on this stuff. Also, Planet Q's Queen is in the chat. Hello, Planet Q's Queen. Welcome to the Black Files. She said she's heading home from the live show of All Elite Wrestling right now. She was watching.
Oh, snap! I hope you enjoyed tonight's edition of AEW Dynamite. I will be covering it tomorrow night, but I don't want to distract. I don't want to deter. I don't want to sidetrack. I don't want to do that. This is the time where we need to get laser focused, especially since we have a whole bunch of information that we need to cover.
Afraid so. It's a bit maddening, but we're gonna do our best over here. And Planet Q's Queen did send me a photo from their work over at the arena. It was funny. It's a picture of Jake Hager, but I'll show you later, Azay.
Yay! Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that the echo is a little bit not as pronounced now. I hope. But I do have to go ahead and get into this. We're here to fucking talk about Onision again. There goes the F-bombs. I don't care. You know what? We're this is the Black Files. We're supposed to be the uncensored and uncompromising podcast of Raven's Flock. But little by little, the new algorithms and the new guidelines at YouTube, under the supervision of Uncle Neil, have been pretty much castrating anybody who even has a thought above like a PG rating. So I gotta be extra. Yeah, Dimply. Yeah, hi there, Toonsters. We're gonna talk about a freaking YouTube pedophile, Onision. Yeah, sure.
Well,
like that.
You have to understand that standards and practices deem that you must maintain a family-friendly content.
If this is your attempt at trying to use Angel's inflections to invoke his smarmy self, it's a near miss.
No. I was trying to speak as your run-of-the-mill generic executive. You can't swear on YouTube unless you want to be demonetized.
What the hell? Well, speaking of stuff that's going to get us demonetized, I do actually have to go ahead and give us our usual obligatory disclaimer. Folks, if any of you have been following our coverage or any coverage involving this individual, Gregory James Jackson, aka... Actually, I'm going to go down all his stupid names. Gregory James Daniel, aka Gregory James Jackson, aka Gregory James Avro, aka James Jackson. The mofo's gone through 4 name changes his whole life. It's almost as if he's trying to hide something. I don't know. If any of you know what sort of topic this is, you know that we're going to be discussing really, really fucked up stuff. It's mainly involving allegations of child grooming for the purposes of having sexual relations with teenage girls, which is this guy's MO, which is what he has been accused of, which has pretty much been proven even by his own stupid mouth. And this is a topic of a sensitive nature. We are advising our viewers, our followers, if this sort of taco is not ringing your Taco Bell, tune out now. Go ahead and check out something else from the Ravens Flock. We've got plenty of stuff. We finished up Bayonetta 3 this past Saturday. Go ahead and relive that if you just want ridiculous, silly, frenetic video game Let's Play action. Also, we want to be absolutely 100% clear. While we at the Ravens Flock, as a group, do not condone in any way, shape, or form any form of retribution, be it verbal, physical, or written, or digital in any way, towards this man. We are going to be very expressive of our individual opinions about him and about the platform that has been enabling him for the last decade and a half. YouTube, this platform. What we have to say right now, please do not try and commit violence against this person or his associated peoples. That would be bad and wrong. And if you do that, then you're bad, okay? So don't go ahead and harass him in person, okay? That bullshit being said, we're also going to try and stick to this topic tonight, folks. So let it be known, if anyone wants to try to bring up any other drama in particular, specifically involving anyone that we might have been dealing with on other social media platforms in the last, 72 hours, particularly one blonde a-hole in particular. We're not going to be naming them. We're not going to be giving that person the time of day. Anyone who wants to try to bring up that bullcrap can either do so on their own time, on their own dime, but here we're sticking to Onision and his ilk and his bullcrap. All right?
Exactly.
Have I covered our asses enough?
Yes, I think you've covered your ass enough, and that is the one-time warning that we will be giving. And I will be monitoring the chat, and if I do find any comments or questions that breach any of the disclaimers without warning, they will be deleted.
Thank you. Exactly. And yes, thank you, Planet Q's Queen. Very simple. Don't dox either. Yeah, seriously, don't dox these people. Especially if there's anyone who is underage involved. Do not try to dox underage children. That is fucked up.
Very much so.
All right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, Jen, you are well within your rights to do that. Big hugs and love, everyone. With my CPTSD, I'll turn down the volume so it doesn't mess up the algorithm. Night all. Jen, thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate the support. And, like I said, we're giving these warnings out because we know how much of a problem this motherfucker is. I'm not, to hell, I'm not gonna police my language tonight, I'm sorry. Let's just freaking swear like fucking sailors all we fucking want. I'm not gonna give a fuck right now. They have not, this piece of shit, Greg, has not earned nearly enough of my ire for me to want to try and police my freaking thoughts about him. No.
Just all right, fair enough, but just don't have your entire dialogue be nothing but swears. Okay,
Obviously.
Let's also
goes without saying. Now, for those of you who've been following the Ravens flock for years, we've been documenting different stories. Each one of them, I have been swearing like crazy, trying not to come back to. Because I'm hoping against hope every single time that this was the last of it. Or he's finally going to fade into obscurity. Or he's finally going to take a long walk off a short pier with a pair of concrete shoes on and told to exhale very, very loudly. But no. Somehow, like a nuclear cockroach, this brat, this idiot, James Jackson, Greg, Onision. I'm gonna call him either Greg or Onision because fuck his name, James Jackson. That's as far as I'm concerned, that's a piss poor attempt at him to try to freaking like try to evade any scrutiny or whatever. But that's always been my opinion that he's been doing name changes in order to try to obscure himself from public life. I'm like, buddy. You put your face on everything. You've been putting your face out on everything since about 2006 or 2007. You don't get, like, at this point, you've been kind of doing this to yourself. Also, Light Warrior is in the chat. Hello there, Light Warrior. Welcome to the Black Files. We appreciate you here. Let me see. Yeah, and Emily Morris is saying, I've seen this name before, but had no clue what the deal was with this guy. Already disturbed. I'm already disturbed. Okay, yeah. Buckle up. I'm going to give you all the very, very brief version of this. We've been documenting all these stories about him under the heading of the Onision Travesty. Because basically that's how I freaking consider this guy. I consider Greg to be a travesty of a human being. In his actions, his reactions, his responses, the stuff that he's done on his platform on YouTube, on Twitter, even on Facebook. He's done stuff even in goddamn OnlyFans. Gross. Yeah, he's been okay. For the record, I'm not crapping on people for using OnlyFans either for entertainment or as to generate revenue. Just that his contacts always sucked. And folks have actually gone out of their way to show, give an example of what his content is like, so you don't have to. It's gross. It's absolutely disgusting. Neesing in the chat, like the 911 call. Chris Hansen called Onision, said to the dispatcher, "I don't know who Greg is. My name is James Jackson." Onision thinks a name change would absolve him of his actions. Yeah, no. Okay, so it's never gonna get away from him. Jose, you still with me there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm letting you, dude, continue. Don't worry about me.
Okay, sorry, because it can be whenever. Okay. Putting it simply, Onision started up in the early days of YouTube, 2006, 2007. A lot of it was him ranting, him trying to give advice, him trying to figure himself out, him trying to put content out, throwing whatever would stick to the wall, and he would try everything in his power. He was also in his first marriage at that time, with a lovely lady named Sky. He divorced her under really crappy post-nuptial terms that he hand-wrote, basically. Made her sign and basically thought that would hold up in court. It was dumb. It was a whole nother bunch of drama. He did this in order for him to get together with a Canadian singer who went by the name of Shiloh, who was a rising star, and she was also a quirky fan of Onision. He very much appealed to the mid to late 2000s, like LOL, Arar, XD random, like phony Hot Topic style aesthetic of entertainment and randomness, and I'm gonna be offensive, but that's so quirky because I'm so weird, like stuff. I actually remembered a few years ago. Whoop, I don't need to put this. Put up the obligatory disclaimer for a memory. Well, this is a disclaimer. This is a memory now. Okay. Where I'm over here seeing some friends while I was in college who were talking about this asshole on YouTube, and this is even back then, 2007, 2008, or whatever, and they show me this goofy ass grinning picture of this guy with like moppy, mangly, jet black hair, big shit eating grin, crooked ass teeth. For a minute, I'm like, wait a minute, is that supposed to be Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance? Because this guy looks fugly with a capital fug. Like, oh no, this is this guy. His name's Onision. He's on YouTube. Like, he's fugly, man. What the hell? Yeah, no, he's a bit of an ass and all this stuff. It took me until maybe 4 years ago for me to realize that that's who this guy is, who they've been talking about. Completely put out of my memory for nearly a decade, and then this crap. Anyway, getting back to it. So, Onision has been basically making a living by trying to, quote-unquote, be the most honest YouTuber in all of history, if not the most honest. Never, ever trust anybody who proclaims themselves to be the most honest person ever. No, sorry. The motherfucker's got something to hide. I'll say this right now. I'll be truthful to people. I got shit that I hide. I like to play verbal and intellectual gymnastics with people when I know how to push their buttons. As a matter of fact, why are we covering this guy? Namely because over the years he's been serially either mentally or financially or sexually mistreating his partners for the sake of what? I don't even know. Can it even be argued that he's been doing this shit just for content? Because there was one horrible ass video that he put out years ago where he had actually put up the video of him calling the cops on Shiloh in this horrific mental breakdown that Shiloh had.
Yeah, I was gonna chime in and say, yeah, no, one can make the argument that, yeah, one of his reasons, I'm not saying it is the only reason, is that he's doing it just for content, just for attention.
That's a really crappy way to be making content. Okay, there's reality TV, and then there's this bullshit. No, this is terrible. But like, okay, so Shiloh was having a mental breakdown. She is screaming at the top of her lungs. She's crying. She's clearly devastated. And he's filming all of it, trying to play himself off like Mr. Hero, like, oh, I can't possibly be doing anything wrong because I'm being all quiet while we're in front of the camera. But you're the one who's screaming in hysterics, so I must be the good guy in this because you're the one who's screaming. But I'm being quiet, so therefore I must be right. It's not about how loud or how quiet you are or how quickly you talk, buddy. It's about the context. It's about how you say shit and what it means in the context of what's being produced. Something this asshole apparently has never learned. It is 37 years on this godforsaken rock. This damp rock that we all live in. Anyhow, fast forwarding. Oh, I don't even want to. Okay, so
We gotta.
I know. We gotta. For crap's sake, where is it? I had it here. Really? In 2012, after everything had broken down with Shiloh, and even after they'd briefly gotten back together, Onision decided to get together with his then 17-year-old fan, whose original name was Taylor Elaine Anderson, went by the online name Lanybot, which then caused them to change their name to Kai, or just Taylor, and then Kai, and now they go by Lucas Jackson. Excuse me? That's almost as horrible as Greg's shit. For the sake of it, if for the record, folks, if I'm remembering correctly, Kai uses they them pronouns. However, the legal documents that we're going to be discussing here, specifically for the sake of speaking of an individual person, they're the folks who drafted this are using singular feminine pronouns for Kai, for Lucas, Lainey, Taylor, Kai, who's also just a fucking piece of work themselves. So if I use it interchanging between she, her, and they, them when reference to Kai, bleh, there's no two bones about that. Can't be helped. Anyhow, so in 2012, they got married. The match made in fucking swampland in Washington State, where Greg's residing. Still gross. Yeah, November 14th, that's their name. That's their date. How cute. And from that point on, they decided that they're going to try and expand their relationship by bringing in other fans and bringing in other young girls, underage teenage girls, who was the specific demographic that Greg seems to love interacting with. If you don't believe us, you can take a look at the documentation. Two ladies who were, two folks who were victimized by Greg and Kai are a young person by the name of Regina Alonso, and another young person by the name of Sarah. Now, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, Regina had gotten together with 2 law firms that had filed federal lawsuit claims against both Greg, Kai, and this platform, YouTube, for 3 separate counts of illegalities and improprieties. Basically, they're charging them with. Here it is, folks. I'll just show you the documents over here. And joined in to this in on this as well is now filing her own individual suit with the exact same. Now, first off, after years of dodging the law, after years... Okay, hold on. Was there no sound earlier? Yeah, there was no sound earlier. I hadn't fixed the microphone problem over here on this screen. Thank you, Lisa Boo. Sorry about that. I was just reading the complaint paragraph there. So, putting it simply, Greg's fucked. He is absolutely fucked because these 2 documents, 48 pages and 67 pages, this totals out a whopping 115 pages worth of complaint, including screenshots, including testimony, including the details on exactly what was done to Regina and Sarah. Now, I also want to give folks a little bit of a heads up. I did attempt to reach out to Regina earlier this week and ask if she might be able to join us on this broadcast. I have to state right now that that since this is an active legal proceeding, she would not be able to join without there being any sort of clearance from her attorneys. However, she appreciates the support that we're all sending her and as sending them. Sorry about that.
That's fine. That's fine. That's completely understandable under these circumstances.
Yeah, and that's why I would not press the issue any further. Offered an open invite. Let them know that they're welcome if they wish to join. So Jose and I had gone through the entirety of the documentation, and holy shit, this has been a nightmare to try to go through and live with. Namely because I'm over here trying to keep from throwing my phone, where I've been reading all of this, across the house, across the apartment. All day.
No, don't do that. It's not worth it.
I know. But it's a tough phone. It's an older, one of those Samsung Active phones. See, it's like the super heavy duty. Are you sure? Because for Christ's sake, I can just chuck this shit. You sure I can't chuck it?
No, don't do that. Because if you chug it, then what are we gonna do? What, we're gonna try two fucking cups to a string and communicate with each other? Because your phone's gonna be either dead, at worst dead, at the very least cracked.
Well, I'm due for an upgrade. Get excuses any, right?
God.
Good grief.
All right.
All right, yeah, I'm just being silly over here. All right, now here's the crazy thing. While Jose and I were reading through the documents, I've actually noticed something very specific. For the beginning of the actual complaints in the documentation here, it's showing here the introductions and the parties involved. For the most part, they read very similarly, and they're trying to base these lawsuits in federal courts for Regina in U.S. District Court, Middle District of Florida, and for Sarah, hers is in the Western District of Michigan. So, before I forget, these the law firms that are handling the cases are the Marsh Law Firm and the Haba Law Firm. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'll pull up the link for the Haba Law website, because I want to make sure that that everyone has got the that everyone who's got this situation who are following along will be able to check this out as well.
Yeah, go for it.
It's legit right here. Now, in the interim for all of this that was going on, there was a documentary that was put out. If I'm not mistaken, was it 2018? Hang on, it's probably in the minutes of this. Let me see. Yeah, there was a documentary that was produced, and it was aired. It's what, 20? It was 2020 actually. Let me see. God damn it. Okay. Okay. Something 2020. Yeah, jackass. Hang on. I'm actually double checking something else over here. Shaming. Yep. I'm looking through this because I want to find the exact date when the the investigation discovery documentary came out. Okay, what am I thinking? It was 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, from January to May. Like, the initial run was January. January 4th to January 18th, and after that, it was when it was in May when Sarah actually spoke out as part of all this in response to the first 3 episodes that were aired by Investigation Discovery. Like I said, if any of you don't believe, or if you aren't sure, then I'll show y'all. Ba-boom. Stop it. Stop that. There. See? And this was insane. And the backlash of all of this was within January, was when Greg was finally removed and permanently suspended from the YouTube Partner Program. He was officially demonetized forever. He would not be allowed to make any money off of his 3 principal channels, which are Onision Speaks, and Uh-Oh Bro. Now, he does have other channels that he keeps that are like Onision Archive and Onision Encore. And he also managed the episode for, he also managed the channel for Kai. Yeah, Kai got their own channel. Isn't that cute? How sweet. Huh. Now, I'm really trying to calm the hell down. Because what happens after that is when we have a lot of this that was just being sputtered about with this story. Okay, where do we want to start, Jose?
Well, you're leading the charge. I mean, I've sent you all I've done my homework on this as well, but you're the one leading the charge.
So I guess the only logical way to go on this is try to link the two timelines on it. Yeah.
Yes.
And that would be the timeline between supposedly the issue was that Kai was attempting to groom Regina, and that Kai was attempting to have Regina fly out to meet with Kai and Onision at their house and then get their freak on. Now, once Regina's family had intervened, that's when Kai decided to change tactics, switch things up to Regina's friend Sarah. And that's where things get bad. I need a minute, Jose. Is it okay?
Yeah, no. Take deep breaths. This is just a reminder, folks. Like, listen, if you feel like you're at the height of your emotions right now, at the height of your attention, within yourself, don't take a step back. Take a step back. Take deep breaths. Count to 10 if you have to. Do what you need to do to calm down, to try and get your bearings, to try and get through whatever it is you're doing, whether it's work related or whether you're trying to cook something at home or trying to do anything, or similar to what Juan's doing right now. We're talking about a very compelling. We're talking about a very, 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 very heated and very compelling story surrounding Onision. Like, take a step back and try to get your bearings. Juancho?
All right. For crap's sake. Okay. Because, like I said, we're trying to be cool about this. We're trying to be calm. Gotta be cool. Gotta be calm. Gotta stick together. Yeah, you know what I mean. All right. So we basically went ahead and had gone through paraphrasing for the most part what was outlined in the minutes of the documents. Now, when you folks go to habalaw.com, by the way, I want to show this. Let me see here. Where'd it go? When you go to habalaw.com, what will happen is that you're going to scroll down. You're going to go and it's going to be easy. You're just going to scroll down. You're going to go to stop it. God dang it. Okay, so you're going to go down to the website here, past the contacts, under news and releases, March 3rd, so 5 days ago, was when the announcement was put out, the press statement for Sarah. On February 8th, so a month ago, 1 month today, was when Regina's filing was put forward. Now, if you guys want to take a look at the actual document, right at the bottom of the statements, click here to review a copy of the complaint on both of these sites, okay? So, going from there, changing back to what we were looking over. Now, Jose and I were basically going through each ones of the pages of each one of these documents to point out the most egregious bits of it, or at least the stuff that we believe would be the most impactful on the upcoming trial, because they're demanding a jury trial. They want a jury. They want Greg and Kai to be tried before a jury of their peers. So if you folks want to read along or follow along, let me see here. I'm going to start off with Regina's story here. Regina's issue, starting with page 20. Let me see here, line 116. All right. Okay. Yeah. Now this shows that there was how folks have been trying for years to bring Onision forward for accountability. So that is actually gets us to page 18, line 109. As Onision's popularity grew, he gained enough popularity that he was able to participate in YouTube's partnership agreement, which allows a YouTuber that has gained a certain number of followers to monetize their platform and make money from the content that's posted. Let's see here. God. Trying to calm down.
You can do this one.
Okay, here we go. As the following of this lawsuit, Onision's partnership had been the partnership program for approximately a decade and has monetized his videos during his time period and all relevant time periods. During his tenure as a member of the YouTube PPP, paid partnership program, he posted videos and other content specifically targeting teen users and their insecurities, with certain videos tailored to teenage concerns, including, am I pretty? Am I ugly or not? Should people shave their legs and arms and down there? How to flirt with guys. How to tell if you're circumcised. How to ask if there's someone to date you. How skinny is too skinny. How to give a hickey. The internet community began to take issue with his content as early as 2012. In January 2012, Onision published a video about one of his ex-girlfriends in which he stated that because she had slept with more than 20 people before him, she was, quote, a slut who cannot be raped. As a result of this video, numerous people asked YouTube to revoke his agreement. Shortly after this occurred, viewers signed a Change.org petition to demonetize Onision, which was sent to YouTube. Many viewers reported Onision's account to AdSense, which is a Google program that matches ads to the individual YouTube website based on content and visitors and coordinates with the advertising makeup that allows for the monetization of a YouTube partner's website. Since it is a Google program, a report to AdSense is effectively a report to Google. One reporter in particular specifically flagged for Google that not only was this video harmful, but stated amongst other comments about Onision, quote, I'm disgusted by his recent videos, and despite his attempts at an apology, I do not believe he's actually sorry or actually will change his behavior in the future. It seems to me that this is part of a cycle of his where he makes several videos that deeply offend a percentage of his fans and viewers. He receives a backlash by those affected by his judgmental comments. He rants about them and dismisses them as haters. And then he finally apologizes to save face and tries to cover it up by deleting the videos. Only the damage is already done. It's far too late for an apology. His young, impressionable followers have already swallowed his opinions whole and committed to them as gospel. It is also a very cheap way to rack up views and collect ad revenue. Sponsoring these behaviors is condoning his destructive behavior. These videos is condoning his destructive behaviors. I can't imagine that you or the companies that advertise with you support such opinions. Revoking his sponsorship will send the message that you do not take this lightly and that you respect the people who are watching the ads that you attach to these videos. So, just to show you folks, as early as 2012, at least, he's been, Greg has been up shit creek, and he's been trying to ruffle people up for the sake of views and shit. What, was I muted again?
Let me take. No, I don't think you were.
Yeah. Oh, snap. Oh, Effie's on the chat. Effie, sweetheart. How are you, honey? Welcome to the Black Files. It's so good to see you on here. And so I appreciate it. Yeah, no, no, this isn't really. Oh, yeah, and Niesing is also saying, Onision also owned Kai's old Patreon channel as he was trying to direct people to his other Patreon account, which is ban evading. So yeah, but then that was shut down too. I'm double checking our stuff. Not muted. Not muted. Not muted. Not muted. Man. Okay. Okay, we're good. Yeah, this is just a sample of his shit 10 years ago, Emily, because you're saying that he's a sicko. This was him 10 years ago. He hasn't changed a day. He hasn't changed a day in his life in all that time. Holy cow. All right, so this just goes to show you folks the kind of beast we're dealing with, the kind of jackass, the kind of a-hole we're dealing with here. Also, Jose, I put my tough phone in a tough case so I can throw it now. Ah!
Dummy.
I'm kidding. Anyhow, it gets worse. Yeah, folks, you're going to hear a lot of this. It gets worse. Now, we're going to go ahead and scroll down to the issue regarding the connection with Regina here on when all this began. So, let me take a look here. I want to make sure that I bookmarked it right. Yep. 25, 150. Good God, this guy. Yeah, Lainey groomed, lured, and recruited Regina. In 2012, a young girl named Regina was 12 years old, was depressed, and Googled how to kill yourself. Regina found Onision's video that shamed anyone that wanted to kill themselves and found connection. Also, I want folks to understand that thing that I was saying about the they-thems over here and the interchanging pronouns regarding Regina. Regina went ahead and gave their consent for the document to refer to them as she, her, for the sake of clarity. It was obviously implicit as well that Lainey was given the same treatment in this document, but considering that Lainey is one of the people that is being held to task in this, it's not as if they can exactly ask the okay. So I don't want any bullshit on anyone who thinks that they could defend either Greg or Lainey's position on any of this, saying, "Oh, you're horrible because you're misgendering, you're using Kai's wrong pronouns, you're using Lucas's wrong pronouns, you're a horrible person." Like, piss off. Nope. We're not playing that game today. Go piss up a flagpole. So Regina began to watch many of Onision's videos and felt a deep connection. She became a huge fan. Under her username handle, Regina developed online relationships and friendships with other YouTubers as her community of support. On September 28th, 2012, Regina, still at that point 14, began speaking with Lainey through Instagram and was starstruck, as depicted below. Check this shit, folks. The actual screenshots of their discussions. What do you call it? Talking about some song from a band. And here's Regina's discussion on there. "Ah, you're my favorite Instagrammer and you like a song from my favorite band." Ah! "Wait, I'm your favorite Instagrammer?" says Kai. "You're so gorgeous." "Yes, you're so gorgeous." "Oh, thank you so much. That makes me happy. You're super welcome." Yeah, like, so it seems innocent enough. Like, cool.
Yeah, it seems that way, even though we later to learn it's not. Just want to stop for a second, Juancho. We do have a comment here on the live chat from Honester saying, "Onision is cute and can do whatever he wants." I'm going to go ahead and remove that. I'm going to go ahead and remove that comment.
Yeah, please do. Is that Greg? Honest Stirs? Esters? Is that you? When you speak in Regina's voice, can you do it more girly, please, and thank you. I'm trying just to read through. I'm not trying to like mimic anyone's voice or anything like that. I was literally just reading through it all there. But I'll try. But Honesters, if that's really you, Gregory, hi. You remember back in 2021 when we here at the Ravens Flock offered you a chance to come onto our platform and try and speak up for yourself, and you tried to poor shame us for not having a big enough following, for not being a monetized channel, for being too small fries for you?
Oh my, how the tables have turned.
When I mentioned earlier over here, folks, by the way, that I love playing verbal and language gymnastics around assholes, He was one of them. And I loved every minute of it. I went ahead and sent him a message under the Ravens flock. I'm sorry, can I just show the message one last time, Jose?
Juan, listen, let's just stick to addressing the story at hand. We're not here to pick a fight, okay?
Oh no, we're not here to pick a fight. I just want to show everyone what a gullible dipshit this guy is. Where to go?
Okay, you want to show them the old message? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yep, we invited him. Yeah, hang on a minute. Let me just pull it over here so that folks can see it on the right window. I have two separate windows, one for keeping my info up and the other for our stuff. Let me just show you this way. He never showed, and this was what he was offered here, folks. Where'd it go? Here it is. Okay, we invited him. We publicly tagged him and everything. Invited to what now? And this was the golden goose here. Good afternoon, Onision. We invited you to an interview on our podcast, The Black Files, this past Wednesday. The invitation itself was issued to you publicly on the March 13th edition of our flagship show, The Ravens Flock Live. While we anticipated your inability to attend, we regret that you were unable to answer our request for an interview, one which would have been worth $64,000 and included a public apology. At this time, we must inform you that your invitation has expired and may not be extended again. We thank you for your timely response and wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
To which he replied,
Aw, shucks, LOL.
obviously, this guy didn't really care.
No, this fucking guy didn't realize that he got played. He thought that he was that he'd missed out on money. We said that the interview was worth $64,000. Not that he was going to get paid $64,000. And we said that it would have included a public apology by him to us, to you, for his bullshit behavior. That would have been how things would have played out if he wasn't a yellow belly bitch. C'est la vie. I still laugh at how he just tried to brush it off. He was probably seething in the background after that, realizing, fuck, how broke is he that he would have needed that money. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Let's see here. Yeah, all this stuff that was happening with Regina, this was when she was 14 still. She had just turned 15 a month after meeting Lainey online. Getting back to it here. Regina initially told Lainey that she was 19 years old, but quickly clarified that the real age was 15. Lainey was not deterred from sexually pursuing Regina after finding out her real age. Don't you think that's a freaking problem right there? Isn't that, like, right off the bat? Okay.
That should be a red flag.
Red fucking flag. 255-0-0 red. Okay, Regina went and Lainey went from speaking occasionally to speaking daily, and Regina soon considered Lainey to be a best friend based on the level of sharing and intimacy between the two. Lainey continued to flirt, groom, and condition Regina when she was 15 to 17 years old. Lainey frequently had highly sexualized conversations with Regina. When the opportunity arose, Regina became a volunteer forum moderator on the Onision forums. That's a whole nother bag of worms right there, a can of worms. Basically, Onision's forums are a fucking cesspool. He runs it off of software that he has to lease out, and the idiot can't stand people giving opinions that aren't sucking his dick, basically. Metaphorically, in terms of stroking his ego. And it became breeding ground to find other fans who were as young as, like, here, 15, 16 even. There was some, like, what was it? Regina was initially 12 years old when she first got started on Onision. Imagine that crap. And imagine them on a online pretty much unregulated forum, just saying, oh, this is 18 plus only, or whatever isn't enough. And considering that they put on a lot of fucking posters like, oh, let's rate your body 16 and up. I'm like, that's still gross. Sick fuck. Let's see here. Lainey's own forums, as well as Onision's, became moderator for all ladies' social media. Cool. Okay. Nice. Good for them. But except, obviously, his shit turns wrong. While 16 years old, Regina confided in Lainey that she was bisexual and was questioning her gender. Lainey encouraged this conversation and stated that she liked girls too, leading Regina to believe that being with Lainey in a romantic way was an option. In the summer of 2015, Lainey came out officially as bisexual. Around the same time, Onision made it publicly known on YouTube that he was agreeable to Lainey having a relationship with another girl, and the couple began posting YouTube videos advertising the same. Upon information and belief, Onision encouraged and enticed Lainey to enter into a relationship with another girl. Onision and Lainey began publicly talking on YouTube about having a polyamorous relationship with other girls. Although it was presented to the world as an opportunity for Lainey to be with a woman, in reality, this was done so that Onision could engage in threesome sex acts with other girls and use Lainey as the bait to lure them in. Onision demanded a threesome and stated that he will not allow Lainey to have sex with a girl unless he participates. Despite being married and an adult, Lainey began dating underage Regina. Regina had just turned 17 years old only 8 days before the dating announcement. From Lainey's own fucking Twitter. Dating at haha no bye now. It's official. 10/29/14. Good fucking lord.
All because Onision wants to get laid with all these girls. Wow.
Underage teenage girls.
Wow, what healthy behavior.
So healthy, so normal, apparently. Fucking gross. During this relationship, Lainey groomed underage Regina with flirtatious and suggestive comments such as "I love you," sexual commentary, and sent nude photos. Some examples of such communications were as follows. In other words, I'm sending Regina nudes right now. Haha no bye, come get this good, with smirking emojis. Haha no bye, I'm in love with you. And fucking this one over here. Okay. Let's see. Come fuck me and eat coconut milk ice cream with me. Hashtag goals. Hashtag goals. I'm serious though. If I can grab your ass too, then we'll have a deal. I'm pretty sure that comes with a whole fuck me package. Obviously the F's being blanked out for the sake of, you know, language on a legal suit, but you can tell what that shit says. The child was 17. The child had been 14 when they got started talking to Lainey. Unbe-fucking-leavable. Back, but it was going to go get a pizza real quick. Going to fix a pizza real quick. Yeah, no, you eat up, Planet Q's Queen. Oh, there was Honest Stirs. I'm sure that their timeout is wrapped up, isn't it?
It's wrapped up, but from the look of things, it doesn't look like they're going to be coming back.
Okay, well, they're more than happy to come on over and say hi. No videos. Honest Stirs 4688. Yeah, no. Join the channel and join YouTube September 23rd, 2020. Uh-huh. Yeah, no. Fuck him. Bye.
Very likely just another follower of Onision.
Or a troll. Or, you know what? It's probably Greg himself. Because he has been known to make sock accounts, and he has been known to try to get in on this kind of bullshit. Let's see. Lainey also sent Regina thirst traps, which is an internet phrase for lewd photos depicting Lainey in her bra and underwear or a low-cut shirt, and were supposed to leave the viewer, quote, thirsty for more, due to the sexual innuendo contained in the photos. Lainey frequently requested that Regina send the same nude and, quote, thirst trap photos back. Lainey and Regina frequently had Skype calls. On one such Skype call, Lainey appeared on camera topless. This is done as a grooming tactic to desensitize Regina to sexuality and test her boundaries. In addition to the thirst trap, images sent by Lainey to Regina. Lainey also requested photographs of Regina. In response to Lainey's demands, Regina sent an image of her exposed breasts to Lainey. Separately, in response to Lainey's demands, sent an image of her exposed buttocks. Lainey discussed sexuality with her, to include sexual acts as she wished to do with Regina, and expressed sexual and emotional desire for her. In 2015, Lainey encouraged 17-year-old Regina to visit her and Onision together. Lainey offered to pay all of Regina's travel expenses for the trip. Lainey intended to lure, entice, recruit, and solicit Regina to their home so that she could join in sexual activity with Regina and in threesome sexual acts with Regina and Lainey together. With Onision and Lainey together. Further, upon information and belief, Lainey intended to lure Regina to their home so that Regina could be given to Onision so that he could engage in sexual acts with Regina. Regina, being young and naive, desperately wanted to visit Lainey, but Regina's mother would not let her travel. Now, this is where the stuff starts to dovetail into what happens with Sarah. It's after page 31, and from here we're going to try to dovetail all of this into how Sarah became involved in all this too.
Right.
And say, before we do that, let me get your thoughts over here. Help me out, man.
Well, as far as this is concerned, from everything that we've read about on Regina's end, when it comes to this guy, it's really not a fucking shock. Like, anything that he does involving underage girls is gross, and anything that Onision's partner Lainey does is equally, reprehensible. Reprehensible.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
It's okay. Good Lord. Okay, I'm trying to calm the fuck down.
No. Hey man, take a step back again. Take a step back again if you need to, and take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Count to 10. Try to relax. Get a swig of your drink, of your beverage, if you have one next to you. Like you keep saying, pop open a cold one with all your friends. That includes you, Juan. Yeah, no. This is like I said. Onision being involved with underage girls is gross. It is gross beyond anything. And Lainey being the accomplice, wow, it's so goddamn fucking disgusting. Like, clearly Onision has a hard time with the word no if he ever gets rejected. It's just not good. It's really not good, and it's important that these stories come to light. And honestly, I'm actually very glad that we have been covering this story, for better or worse, because this is actually important. More people need to be aware of the actions and the transgressions of Onision. Like, am I worried that we're going to get any backlash from any sympathizers or any of his fans? No, I'm not very worried about it at all. That's the beauty about our channel, the Ravens Flock. We're not worried about the public opinions of anyone who agrees with us or anyone who disagrees with us. They can say whatever they want. That's the beauty about our channel. We present our content. We include and inform people of the stories, inform people of the truth. Okay, we're not trying to twist our narratives, and we're not trying to control content and control everybody else's opinions, everyone else's thoughts.
Appreciate it, Jose. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, man. Are you good? Did you get your swig?
Yes.
Okay. You can do this one. All right.
I swear to
we're all hanging on to your every word.
My outrage and my anger with this guy is one thing, but reading out this shit, like actually reading it out, plain ass black and white, I gotta tell you, this is fucking disgusting, man. And I've heard these stories already since I've been following all this bullcrap for ages upon ages now, I'm pretty much well entrenched in what would be called like the iceberg of this fucking guy. But actually seeing it written out here in black and white, seeing it written out, hopefully with consequence, hopefully with actual consequences for Greg and Kai to pay on this. Now, okay, I'm going to get back in on this. Page 31, line 187. Onision and Laney groomed, lured, and recruited Sarah at the same time. Meanwhile, a minor child named Sarah found Onision's channel on YouTube. Sarah became a fan of the Onision Speech channel, and in 2012 became even more of a fan when Laney was introduced as Onision's significant other. At age 13, Sarah reached out to Onision and Laney on their Twitter page via her own handle. Sarah began responding to the posted tweets, to which Laney would usually respond. Around the same time, Sarah joined a Kick chat group for Laney's fans and became friends with the underage moderator Regina through this group. Regina had been appointed to the moderator of Laney's forum, and Laney had become very close with Regina at this point. In the grooming process, it is common for predators to use one victim to access other victims and to invoke loyalty and trust in their victims by making loyalty and trust extremely desirable traits that the perpetrator rarely gives out. Laney asked Regina about her friend Sarah and wanted to know if Sarah was, quote, trustworthy. See, they even right here on the footnotes over here, they're citing a study by Kylie Romanowitz called "How Child Sexual Predators Groom Children," an extension from Michigan State University. See, they've got this stuff. It's out here. This information is not hard to find. Regina vouched for Sarah, causing Regina to feel trusted and valued by Laney. Prior to this, Sarah and Laney had recently started a messaging on Kick, and Laney had told Sarah that she found her cute, quote unquote cute. At the same time, Laney was 19 years old, about to turn 20. So Regina's 15, Sarah is 13, and Laney is 19.
Whoa.
Greg was 28 at this point.
Jesus, man.
Just to frame it all, folks. When Laney first began to speak with both Regina and Sarah, Laney identified as a straight married woman. As a result, neither Regina nor Sarah understood that she was being groomed by Laney, as each believed sexual contact could never result from these conversations. Throughout 2015, Sarah, Regina, and 20-year-old Laney formed a strong friendship and became a group chat called the Three Musketeers. When grooming minors, many predators will talk about sex with their target to desensitize the child so that sexual commentary feels normal and commonplace. Such desensitization allows a predator to more easily move to the next step in the grooming process. Laney quickly turned this group chat into a flirtatious sexual chat and continued sending sexual commentary and photos to Regina and Sarah. Laney added a bear and heart emoji next to Sarah's name in her own phone, as well as red lipstick next to Regina's name in her phone, showing how she viewed these two minor children. See the freaking screenshot. Am loved with Sarah's, with the heart and the little bear emojis next to her name, and Regina with the kiss emoji. Like, dude.
Yeah.
Red fucking flags everywhere, man.
Crimson.
Yeah, he's playing accused me. He needs to be in jail, and so does she. So does Kai. This is scary that we have these kinds of people in the world, and they think they can get away with it. This is a difficult topic, and thank you for tackling it, says Lisa Boo. And he sounds like R. Kelly. Yeah. You want to know the one thing about the difference between R. Kelly and Onision?
R. Kelly has more. Well, actually, no. Can we really say that R. Kelly has more money at this point?
No. Well, he still does. R. Kelly has talent. As fucked up as a human being as he is, he was still a damn good R&B singer. He's still considered a very good singer. The same cannot be said about Greg, who for all his attempts, has been trying over the years to strike gold as a musician, as an artiste, and putting out really, really crappy songs. To call the songs mid would be an elevation of their quality. They are shit tier. They are below shit tier. I would invite you to look it up yourselves, but I don't want to subject any harm to our viewers, for the love of God. Yeah, no. So Onision's number one hit does nothing for us. No, it does nothing. It really does nothing. And this was back in the day when that kind of shit was, that even it was random and silly and dumb, it would have appealed to me too. But even then, I remember seeing parts of it, like, is that it? Is that it? Sorry, Daniel Tosh can't save you, Greg. None of his music really works. And I don't think he should be making music. He should be making nothing. He should be gone. God almighty. Furthermore, back to this. Line 202. Furthermore, Laney selected and set the pictures associated with each child's name. Sarah's picture was an inside joke of referenced sexual acts, and Regina's picture was a sexually suggestive photo of Regina. Laney shared explicit details of her sex life with Onision with both Regina and Sarah. So he totally went down on me after I hadn't bathed for a month. I don't know. I'm gross, whatever. Because the heavy sexual content in the conversations, the flirtations, the attention, and Regina's own vulnerabilities, 16-year-old Regina was having intense romantic feelings for Laney. Over the spring of 2015, Laney tweeted Sarah and Regina many sexual flirtatious comments to include, yeah, at Sarah and at Regina, yeah, I have a meal for you, smirk emoji. No. Just no. Gross. Chill your shit. Take a cold shower. In summer 2015, Laney came out officially as bisexual. Onision informed Laney he's going to have a girlfriend. The couple posted videos advertising the same. When Laney realized Regina could not visit them for the purpose of engaging in sexual activity, Regina was, quote, replaced as their target. It was replaced with Sarah as their target. Sarah was then invited to visit the couple and ultimately raped by Onision. God almighty. Now I'm going to shift over to the document for Sarah's situation in order to get in on this in detail for you guys. And I have to warn you one more time. One more obligatory disclaimer. These are descriptions of a sexual act that was inflicted on a teenage girl who was groomed while underage by two grown adults. This is extremely distressing to me, and I'm trying to keep myself calm, because if I don't, I don't know how much further I'll be able to go into the tonight's broadcast without either breaking down and
take deep breaths. All right. Try to pace yourself. All right, Juan.
I thought I was ready for this shit. I thought I was mentally ready. No, I'm not fucking mentally ready for this shit. He disgusts me. He's a disgusting piece of shit.
Yes, you're right. He is an absolute piece of shit who needs to be behind bars. By all rights, he should have been locked away freaking years ago. But We need, but you got to keep your head, on straight if we're going to continue the rest of the story.
Okay. All right. Fuck. Okay.
Are you good on your drink? Do you need a refill?
I barely touched my drink.
Okay.
This is how you can tell I burned the midnight oil, folks. That's why I have to, along with my medications, the reason why I have to take sedatives just to be able to get a decent night's sleep. More to the point, obligatory disclaimer, we're discussing subjects of sexual nature, which includes the grooming of an underage teenage girl and the eventual sexual contact without permission. All right, you've been warned. Okay. So, I'm going to try to move on over here to Sarah's document. Let me take a look. I'm going to move to a different page. Vouch. Okay, this is the same from there. Vulnerabilities. Okay. This is discussing Sarah. If y'all are reading this on your own time, I'm picking up from page 30, line 181 on Sarah's filing. Okay. In the grooming process, predators will use one victim to access other victims to invoke loyalty and to trust in the victims, making loyalty and trust extremely desirable traits the perpetrator rarely gives out. Now, for Sarah's documentation, the folks at the Habit Law Group placed this with Sarah being at age 14 during this time frame.
14. My goodness, so young.
In August 2014, Sarah's Twitter, Lainey messaged Sarah on Twitter directly and asked her age. Sarah stated she was 14 years old, as shown below. Here's the photo. If you can't read it, I'll blow it up a little bit for you, folks. Here we go. Hey, how old are you? Hey, Lainey, I'm 14. You look older. Tongue smirk emoji. Really? Thanks. You're getting to 20 soon, right? Yes. That's between Lainey and Sarah. Shortly prior to this, Sarah and Lainey had recently started messaging on Kik, and Lainey had told Sarah that she found her cute. At the same time, Lainey was 19, about turning 20. Yep. Given Sarah's vulnerabilities, she embraced the positive attention she was receiving from Lainey and couldn't believe that a, quote, famous person cared about her and wanted to be her friend. When Lainey and Sarah first began speaking, Lainey identified as a straight married woman. As a result of Sarah being groomed and being leave could never result in these interactions. Three Musketeers, grooming minors, yep. At a bear, yep. Because of his sexual flirtations, okay. Sarah's own vulnerabilities. 14-year-old Sarah began to have romantic feelings for Lainey. I went down to page 33, end of line 194, going 195. Lainey discussed sexuality with her to include sexual acts she wished to do with Sarah and expressed sexual and emotional desire for her. Given Sarah's childhood, she craved this type of attention and desire and fell prey to Lainey's trap. Lainey encouraged other adults to message Sarah, a 14-year-old child. Oh my god. This is a retweet over here. May 6, 2015. I'm going to zoom in a little more to see if I can get a little better quality on there. Sarah tweeting, cute girls who are 18 plus should hit me up. Lainey retweeting saying, do this.
What the hell? Fucking gross.
God. Fucking damn it. Alright, I'm going to continue. During this time, Sarah also began speaking to Onision in addition to Lainey. In January 2015, Sarah changed her username to Jailbait, acknowledging the ongoing sexual nature of the communications with herself as a minor child and the legal risk imposed to Lainey and Onision. As depicted, Jackson's commentary, inclusive of Onision, contained a sexual connotation such as, quote, into the dungeon. This is referring to Kai.
Oh, okay.
No, let me, let's see, this is all happening in January 2015. Lainey bot. Onision, you could always just sleep upstairs, you know. Jailbait at Lanybot at Onision. Not the forbidden floor. Sarah and Onision. Sarah saying, Lanybot saying, Sarah, something blanked out. Yeah, I guess part of their username. And Onision into the dungeon. In 2015, Lainey and Sarah were speaking romantically and would refer to each other as girlfriends on social media. From with a screenshot from Sarah's Instagram with a photo of Lainey giving this face from behind the wheel of the car with the caption, "Isn't my girlfriend hot?" from Sarah. Good fucking lord. Over the spring of 2015, Lainey tweeted Sarah and Regina many sexual and flirtatious comments to include, yeah, this, I have a meal for you. Okay, yeah. And this is the one I'm fucking talking about. This is disgusting.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Sarah, I'm grooming you nicely. From Lanybot, timestamped 8:15 a.m., 28th of May, 2015. From Lanybot, at Sarah, I'm grooming you nicely. It couldn't be any more open and shut than this alone. This should be it. It really, really should. You can't.
Like, you don't even need landing lights to know that this is bad.
God almighty. Geeks 5 Ever's in the chat. Holy shit. Yo, Jesse Goku. Bro.
What's going on, man?
Holy shit.
My love to all the nerds over in Texas, bro. Jesse Goku, how you doing, man?
Yo.
Give my love over to the guy from Zeros to Heroes, and send my love over to Coach, too. I miss you guys.
Yo, man. Holy shit. I'm about to have a fucking heart attack with how pissed off I am. Neesing, how old are you on Kick after such an online predator move? Seeing that Greg has control and access to all his Lainey's social media accounts, it's not surprising that Onision might be behind some of these replies or reading them. She's spelling it out for the girl, but I don't blame the child for this, saying Planet Q's queen. Sarah couldn't have known. She couldn't have realized this shit. Sarah was a kid. Sarah was a child at the time, for God's sake. Geeks 5 ever been through a lot this year, but I'm still pushing forward little by little. Goku, Jesse, you're the fucking man. Folks, for God's sake, I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to do a fucking thing. If it's okay with you, Zay.
What's up,
I'm
Juan?
going
What
to
are you
share
going to do?
Geeks 5 Ever's YouTube channel. I want folks to subscribe to them too. They have only 450 subscribers.
Yeah, no, go for it. Yeah, definitely. We know Jesse Goku. We know of Geeks 5 Ever. These guys are frigging awesome nerds. Like we've appeared on a couple of their podcasts a few times back in 2020 during the height of the pandemic. I am occasionally a guest on the Sunday program of Zeros to Heroes, where Jesse Goku is one of the other guys that's part of the show. So I've always had a blast with them. It's always good to hear from Jesse Goku. It's always good to hear from all of the folks over in Texas.
For real, man. Dude, you talk Cocaine Bear too? Holy shit.
Oh boy, that movie.
It's a bear who did cocaine.
I know. All right. Let's go ahead and continue.
Okay, I just needed a nice little reprieve over here. And yeah, see, look at that, man. You're getting some subs. we try to give back wherever we can. All of this shit, even the I'm grooming you nicely, this was all before Sarah had even turned 15. Sarah turned 15 in August 2015, making her 14 years old when she received these messages. After months of grooming and her own vulnerability, Sarah's young, underdeveloped mind believed that she was, quote, in love with Lainey. In summer 2015, Lainey came out officially bisexual. Onision, yep, it was the same. Shortly before Sarah turned 16 years old, Lainey and Onision invited them to visit them at their home in Washington State. On or about September 9th, 2016, Lainey posted online that Sarah was visiting her in Onision. With the tweet, I'm meeting at Sarah in 6 days. What the hell? WTH. When the online community objected and flagged how inappropriate this was, Lainey called Sarah. In that call, Lainey propositioned Sarah, telling her it was illegal for them to have sexual intercourse based on Sarah's age, but suggested they could just kiss or make out instead. Good fucking lord. Age 16. On September 15, 2016, 1 month after her 16th birthday, Sarah flew to Gig Harbor, Washington to visit Lainey and Onision. At this time, Onision was 30 and Lainey was 21. 30 and 21. Sarah was 16.
1.
Greg was literally twice this kid's age. Lainey should have fucking known better, but God knows what kind of brain rot they're rocking these days. Who knows? I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I'm just gauging as a layman because there can't be any logical explanation for this kind of behavior without some sort of mental deformity or some sort of, good God, some sort of terrible brain problems over here, man. Yeah, that's illegal. Yeah, you're right, Jesse. And hey, Adriana G's in the chat. How's it going, Adriana? Welcome to the Black Files. We're talking about this dipshit Onision. I'm not worrying about being monetized right now. I'm not worried about our broadcast being monetized right now, even though we're pretty sure that it's demonetized here. Because I'm swearing I'm swearing like a sailor, and this is an extremely contentious topic, an extremely sensitive topic, a sensitive issue. Okay. Take another deep breath.
Yes, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Count to 10 if you have to. Drink your beverage, for goodness sake. Keep calm, Juancho. We're all behind you.
Just chill out. I mean, drink your 7-Up. Eat a moon pie. Quit grooming people. Trying to calm down. All right.
I know. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. When grooming a child, predators will often attempt to gain a child's trust by talking, playing, and interacting with them in a way consistent with peers at their own age. Example, playing video games, talking about teen topics of conversation, etc. While at Lainey and Onision's house, Sarah felt that Lainey, and Onision had a great time, and it was an escape from the life she knew at home. Onision invited Sarah to play video games for hours. They interacted with her in the way another 16-year-old would engage. Onision told Sarah that she was mature for her age, and it felt like hanging out with a 20-year-old, quote. Sarah's visit was short, and on or about September 2016, she returned to Michigan. A few weeks after Sarah's first visit, Onision and Lainey invited Sarah to return for a second visit and invited her to live with them permanently due to problems she was having at home. Sarah's mother allowed her to do this and signed a medical and financial power of attorney over to Lainey. This is line 218, page 37 of Sarah's filing. This fucking ruined it for this kid. Because of the financial power of attorney, Lainey had full and complete control over Sarah's bank account until she was turned 18 years old. On or about 26 October 2016, Sarah returned to Gig Harbor, Washington, and moved in with Lainey and Onision. Child predators often attempt to desensitize their victims to sexuality and sexual topics. Additionally, predators will also initiate gentle touching in safe areas that become more and more flirtatious. This is done as an introduction to facilitate future sexual contact as part of the grooming process. Soon after arriving, Onision began frequently making sexually charged jokes to Sarah, to include explicit references and jokes about sexual topics and sexual acts. The constant jokes effectively minimized the feeling that sex was taboo in the mind of Sarah at the time. Onision soon began touching Sarah in small yet suggestive ways. During the first visit to their house, Onision touched Sarah's face and caressed her face in a sensual way. While living at their residence, Onision and Sarah were together wearing only shirts and underwear, not pants. While Lainey was showering, Onision deliberately pressed his erect penis up against Sarah's buttocks, making her feel uncomfortable. On yet another occasion, Onision was giving minor Sarah a back massage and began caressing and rubbing her buttocks in a sexual manner. He also reached around to the front of her shirt and groped, fondled, and molested 16-year-old Sarah's breasts. Sarah felt extremely uncomfortable. The couple engaged in three-way wrestling matches with Sarah, causing many body parts, to include Sarah's breasts and buttocks, to be deliberately touched and grabbed by Onision and Lainey under the guise of wrestling. Onision would find reasons to touch or brush up against Sarah's breasts, buttocks, or body, and would cause his hand to linger, touching her continually until Sarah stepped back. This happened frequently, adding to the high sexual energy in the home. Throughout her time living with Onision and Lainey as a minor, Onision would touch her legs, would tickle her, would hand feed her food, and would constantly comment on her body in a sexual way. Onision and Lainey would frequently engage in sexual activity in a manner and a volume so that Sarah could not avoid hearing or walking in on the act. All of the touching and constant sexual commentary about Onision made Sarah uncomfortable, but she felt powerless to act. Lainey, on the other hand, frequently made Sarah feel as though they might be further romantically involved in the future. Lainey asked Sarah that if she and Onision ever got divorced, could Sarah and Lainey get married? When Lainey said and Onision would have fights, Lainey would frequently tell Sarah that it was, quote, Zillow time. And they would review properties together under the pretense that this was the house that they would move into when they ran away together. Lainey would also would frequently touch Sarah in a sexual flirtatious way, such as caressing her legs or tickling her. When individuals on social media started realizing that this minor child was at Onision and Lainey's house, Onision attempted to control the narrative by recording a video titled, Sarah is Leaving. Bullshit. On or about 21st February 2017, Sarah was sent back to Michigan by Onision and Lainey. On or about April 5th, the same year, Sarah was invited and returned to Onision and Lainey's home a third time for a third visit to their residence. During the third visit, Onision vacillated by being calm, kind, and friendly to being angry and mean to Sarah. This variance in attitude sowed discord and instability in Sarah, exacerbated her insecurity, fostered a desire to make her, quote, online hero like her, and caused her to question what she had done wrong. Sarah returned to Michigan on or about April 13th, 2017. That's everything for Sarah while she was 16 years of age. I need a break before going to age 17.
Yeah, no, yeah. Go ahead. Take a break. Take a break, guys.
You, please.
Yeah, no, I'm going to check the chat while you're going through this. All right. Yeah, no, we're getting a lot of traction here. Yep. Even Geeks 5 Ever is telling you to breathe, sir. Zen. However, when Zen ends, ass kicking begins, says Geeks 5 Ever. And yeah, Planet Q's Quee is basically shouting into the live chat. The mother should be prosecuted too if she signed over her daughter to this fucking couple that hurt her child, with a lot of angry angel slur emojis. Yeah.
Slur emojis is one of our better ideas here.
Yeah, I think it was a better idea. I think we need to make one for you.
Nah. No, Angel can cover the wrath of wanting to swear like a sailor. I don't have nearly the type of vernacular that's needed in order to get this shit straight. Yeah, bro, if I were this girl's parents, what his face would be eating breakfast right now through a straw. I wouldn't even leave it enough for a straw with him if it was me. This is my opinion. This is my take on the guy. We're not encouraging any actual harm. He's a little bitch anyway. He's a pushover.
Yep.
Give me a second.
That's a very odd comment for Planet Q's Queen to post here. We don't want me to kill my Cheez-Its. LOL. That is the most... I don't know. I like, considering all this is happening, this feels like that comment just came out of left field.
What?
Planet Q's comment. We don't want me to kill my Cheez-Its.
I've almost fought celebrities. Yeah.
That is so completely out of context. What the heck?
It's so weird. An accused queen. What the hell?
No. Listen, I'll take whatever icebreaker we could get, but wow.
What? I need y'all to come on my show and cover this shit with me. Yo. Let's see. Ask what's his face to make the Cartoon Network show like Billy and Mandy. That'd be cool.
That would be really cool. And Geeks I am down.
Jesse got into almost got into a fight. Okay, with the guy who made Billy and Mandy.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
Oh, you're eating Cheez-Its right now. Okay.
Oh, you're eating Cheez-Its. Okay, yeah, no. No, bro, Jesse Goku, you and I, we got to talk about this, man. You got to hit me up. And yes, I do want to come back on your show sometime, man.
Definitely.
All right. Juan?
Yeah. I'm continuing.
Okay, no, I was just saying, like, how are we doing on your end, my friend?
I'm continuing. Let's go.
Okay, go for it.
Age 17. It is common with sexual predators that after he or she identifies their target victim, they begin to engage in manipulation. The next stage of child grooming involves isolating the person, then creating a secret relationship with them. And the following stage is one where an abuser will initiate sexual control over the person and later control over the relationship by demanding secrecy. This is recognized here by Aaron Corbett. In an article, we know grooming is predatory behavior, but why is it so hard to recognize? Published August 20th, 2021. On or about August 1st, 2017, once the internet commentary had settled down, Onision and Laney invited Sarah to return to their home again, but stated it must be a, quote, secret. Sarah was 16 and turned 17 after a few days after arriving in Gig Harbor. During her fourth time at their residence, Onision began treating Sarah in a mean and belittling manner again. Onision effectively broke down Sarah and caused her to feel unwanted, isolated, and alone. Additionally, Sarah was not the only person with them at their home. Onision and Lena invited multiple other people to visit for the purpose of engaging in three-way sexual encounters with these individuals. The messaging sent was that Onision was kind, friendly, and liked those that were engaging in sexual acts with him. That kindness and friendliness was desperately wanted by Sarah. Nonetheless, Onision's, quote, jokes and inappropriate sexual comments continued, and eventually Sarah worked up the courage to stand up for herself. On 4th November 2017, Sarah finally told Onision that his comments and jokes had made her uncomfortable. This comment caused Onision to become enraged, and he demanded that Sarah leave their residence. Sarah was sent back to Michigan on or about November 7th, 2017. For the next 8 months, Sarah and Laney continued to communicate. On or about 4th of July 2018. Sarah traveled back to Gig Harbor for her fifth visit with Onision and Laney's invitation. Sarah was 17 years old. Onision and Laney wanted Sarah to return to them as close to her 18th birthday as possible. Upon arrival, Onision changed the way he spoke to Sarah. Instead of being distant, cold, and cruel in his words and demeanor, as he was before, Onision was now warm, friendly, and kind to Sarah. He even greeted her with a hug. This drastic change in attitude towards this vulnerable child by one of her guardians affected Sarah greatly. Sarah admired and idolized Onision and desperately sought acceptance from him and Laney. Onision told Sarah that when he saw her, that she looked like, quote, the girl next door who moved back home but was super hot. Sarah had felt like a yo-yo with Onision and Laney over her teenage years. Not only were they her guardians, but Onision vacillated between kindness, silliness, cruelty, and rage. Further, the couple alternated between wanting and inviting Sarah to be with them and then cast her aside. This constant variance and inconsistency caused Sarah to feel uncertain it negatively affected her own self-image and self-worth, and it exacerbated her symptomology of fear, loneliness, and seeking of acceptance. Although she was still a minor, Onision and Lainey made it known to Sarah that they wished to engage in a three-way sexual act and or relationship with her. Further, Onision and Lainey propositioned Sarah to engage in sexual acts with them. Sarah returned to Michigan on August 25th, 2018. At some point around this time period, Lainey proclaimed that she was now a male and that this person was be using the name Kai moving forward. Now, this complaint will begin calling the person formerly known as Lainey by his new name, Kai, and male pronouns. So as to be consistent with relative evidence and communications to date, it should be noted that Lainey and Kai are the same person. Remember that, assholes, if you want to try that bullcrap. Here we go. Age 18. This is what he was working on for years between himself and Lainey, between Greg and Kai. This is the tamale. This is what he's been trying to do. Okay, good lord. I said stop. Okay. Alright. Let's do this. Alright. So, age 18, Sarah was again invited back and traveled to Washington on or about December 12th to 29th, 2018 to spend Christmas with Kai and Onision. After Onision's fans began protesting Onision and Kai's grooming of Sarah, Onision and Kai both created separate videos denying the allegations. Onision and Kai both coerced Sarah to create a video addressing the allegations. In this video posted January 9th, 2019, Sarah stated that she did not engage in sexual relations while underage. Sarah did not wish to lie and therefore only stated the literal truth. In reality, Sarah was afraid that she would lose her friendship with Kai, and she was afraid she would lose her ability to come to Onision and Kai's house, both things she valued greatly. As soon as the video was posted, Onision and Kai invited Sarah to visit Gig Harbor again. On or about January 10th, 2019, Onision attempted to manipulate Sarah by conceding he'd been mean, promising to be kind, and then asking her to sign an NDA. Specifically, Onision texted Sarah, "This kind of feels like the last big challenge before all our lives become what we want it to be, / everyone is happy. I'm sorry for being so rude to you all these years. I hope you understand why I always distanced myself from you." No, we don't understand! Why the fuck would you treat a child like that? Either way, asshole. I'm so glad I finally feel comfortable being real with you and ending the rudeness, but I am sorry. Also, I think I'll send you an NDA early, so I can't talk about you publicly, nor do I want to in the future. Your privacy is important. We'll get it to you soon, unless you just want to wait until you visit again. Sarah did not want to sign this document and made up excuses to dodge and avoid it. Sarah was able to visit again without signing the NDA. Sarah traveled and arrived in Washington on or about 16th January 2019. The next day, the second night after her arrival, Sarah, Onision, and Kai were watching television on Onision and Kai's bed, as they had done many times before. Fucking gross. Onision and Kai began kissing and quickly began having sexual intercourse next to Sarah on the bed. Sarah was sexually inexperienced and was shocked by what was occurring. Nonetheless, without asking permission or confirming consent, Onision pulled Sarah over to where he and Kai were engaging in intercourse. Prior to this moment, Sarah had not consented to sexual activity with either Onision or Kai. Sarah began kissing Kai. While Sarah agreed to kiss Kai, Sarah did not intend to engage in any sex acts with Onision. After kissing, Kai left the bedroom for a few moments, leaving Onision with Sarah. Without consent, Onision immediately pulled Sarah's pajama bottoms off. Sarah was petrified and did not want her pants pulled off. He grabbed the sheet to cover her exposed body. She grabbed the sheet to cover her exposed body. Onision physically grabbed the sheet and forcibly pulled on it, attempting to pull it off of Sarah. Sarah desperately pulled back, struggling to remain covered. When Sarah resisted his attempts, Onision became angry that she was not cooperating with him. Sarah then attempted to reach for her pajama shorts while holding up the sheet. Onision, seeing what she was attempting to do, quickly grabbed the shorts and flung them across the room and out of reach. Sarah remained stationary, gripping the covers over her body. Thinking that Onision understood that she was not willing to engage in sexual acts with him based on the exchange that just took place, Sarah began kissing Kai again. Without warning, Onision grabbed Sarah's leg. Sarah resisted and pulled her leg back, making her refusal to his demands obvious. Onision, not taking no for an answer, used more force and shoved Sarah in front of him. Without hesitation, and again, Sarah's clear resistance to his advances, he attempted to first digitally penetrate Sarah, and then vaginally penetrated Sarah from behind with his penis. Sarah was petrified and she froze, unable to move her limbs. Onision continued to rape Sarah for what felt like an eternity. Sarah began to silently cry with tears welling up in her eyes while she was being... During this entire incident, Kai did nothing to help Sarah. The next morning, not knowing what to do, Sarah attempted to hide downstairs. Onision found her and picked her up, hugged her, and lavished her with kindness. Sarah did not know what to make of this. Almost immediately after Onision had managed, she signed the NDA documents. Sarah was uncomfortable but executed them because she believed she had no choice after having been groomed for her teenage years, culminating in these moments of vulnerability and control. In other words, when her guardians told her to sign the NDA, she had been groomed and conditioned to obey. Upon information and belief, Onision and Lainey's intent with the NDAs was to protect themselves from the illegal grooming and rape of plaintiff. The NDA was not a valid contract. This part's important. Line 305, page 47. A. The parties did not have a meeting of the minds when it was signed. B. Sarah signed it under coercion and or duress, as Sarah had been groomed and conditioned to obey Onision and Lainey's directives. C. The NDA lacked any consideration. D. The terms were vague, general, and undefined. Even if the NDA had been contractually sound, it was also breached by Onision. Sarah was sent home January 20th, 2019. That was in the span of 4 days. No, 3 days.
Whoa.
In 3 days, they took all this. He got what he fucking wanted.
That fucking evil bastard.
I'm really sorry, folks. I don't know if I can continue reading the rest of this. But if you do wish to... there's parts in here where there's okay, I'm going to read. I have to read the last of this. It's relevant here.
No, you're fine. Continue from where you left off.
In the days and or weeks following Onision's execution of his plan to engage in sex acts with his target, Sarah, he made statements indicating how much he enjoyed engaging in sex acts with Sarah and Kai together, that he missed Sarah, that he loved Sarah, and that he wanted to continue the polyamorous relationship. Sarah, on the other hand, did not feel that she had engaged in a mutual and enjoyable act. Rather, she felt confused, ashamed, and afraid. Sarah did not know how to handle the emotions she was having and was still seeking acceptance and understanding from Kai and Onision. Sarah returned to Gig Harbor on or around February 16th to the 20th of 2019 for her 8th visit. Onision purchased her flights. On or around June 20th, Sarah returned to their home again for her 9th trip. On her last night of her trip, the three engaged in sexual activity together. On the trip back to the airport on or about July 8, 2019, Onision told Sarah that she was his girlfriend now, quote unquote. She felt incredibly guilty and used. However, this made her feel validated for the exploitation that had occurred to date. On or about July 17th to the 23rd, 2019, Onision knew Kai would be out of town in New Mexico and therefore flew Sarah to their house to spend more time with him.
Here, Juan, I'll go ahead and continue from there. If you want to take a breather, let me go ahead and continue where you left off. I know where we are.
Onision, page 48.
There we go. Page 48. Yeah. After Sarah made a few ambiguous statements about what had happened, Onision launched an online attack against her in the same manner and pattern as multiple of his former sexual partners. On August 24th of 2019, Onision manufactured a story, started victim shaming, and accused Sarah of blackmailing and raping him.
Yeah.
This method is referred to as DARVO, which refers to a reaction perpetrators of wrongdoing, particularly sexual offenders, may display in response to being held accountable for their behavior. DRAVO stands for deny, attack, and reverse victim and offender. The perpetrator or offender may deny the behavior, attack the individual during the confronting, and reverse the roles of victim and offender. Oh my goodness! Damn it! Here we go. Victim and offender, such that the perpetrator assumes the victim role and turns the true victim or the whistleblower into an alleged offender. This occurs, for instance, when an actually guilty perpetrator assumes the role of falsely accused and attacks the accuser's credibility and blames the accuser of being the perpetrator of a false accusation. Onision has loudly proclaimed that he was falsely accused and has continued to perpetuate the false narrative of being a victim after he strategically lured, enticed, transported, maintained, groomed, and ultimately raped Sarah.
Sorry, I'm trying to avoid using that word as best as possible. I hope you'll pardon me, Jose.
I understand. I'm just going by what's documented, Juancho, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. On September 1st of 2022,
21st.
Onision, September 21st of 2022, Onision released something he called his goodbye video, which was posted in 3 parts. These videos were posted on YouTube and were available for public viewing. In the first of these 3 videos, Onision falsely stated that Sarah told Onision that she would destroy his life and would only agree not to destroy his life with lying specifically if she got what she wanted. Onision broke up with Sarah because he was being sexually extorted. Sarah was paid to lie in association with Discovery Plus and Chris Hansen. Discovery Plus and or Blackfin paid Sarah $40,000 for him. Sarah performed sexual extortion, which is synonymous with the word. Sarah then word Onision because she told him she would destroy his life or hurt him if he did not sleep with her. In the second of these 3 videos, Onision falsely stated that Sarah is a rapist.
Okay.
In the third of these 3 videos, Onision falsely stated that Onision shouldn't have dumped Sarah for
R-ing him.
Onision should have let himself get R-ed by Sarah. Onision should have just left Sarah for R-ing him and not said anything bad about her.
Prior to posting this, Onision was given notice as to the defamatory nature of these statements. These videos were published after notice. Onision had also published similar content on his Twitter feed. On February 8th, 2023, Regina Alonso filed a lawsuit against Onision, Laney, Google, and YouTube in the Middle District of Florida. As soon as they became aware of the lawsuit, both Onision and Lucas Jackson, the person formerly known as Laney and Kai, attempted to silence Sarah again by calling her and attempting to manipulate her to not file this lawsuit. As a direct result of these defamatory statements made by Onision, Sarah has caused her reputational harm. She has been baited and harassed online. She is fearful to have a public social media account. She is publicly humiliated and emotionally and psychologically harmed. So that's the minutes of everything that happened. Now, like we said, folks, the rest of this is going to be basically the counts on the response from YouTube and why YouTube is a party to the defendants.
I could take care of this one, Juancho, if that's all right. If you need more time to relax a little.
Go ahead, Jose.
So here's YouTube's response. After Sarah moved in, word got out that a minor child had moved in with Onision and Laney, and many people on YouTube were not comfortable with this. Many YouTubers that were also part of the YPP began to speak out about Onision on their own YouTube channels, and media began to surface that Onision and his spouse, Kai, were predators. This culminated in a documentary that was released on Discovery Plus that featured Regina, Sarah, and another ex-girlfriend of Onision named Shiloh. It was only after the publication of this documentary that YouTube finally decided to demonetize Onision for violations of their policies on or about January 21st, 2021. YouTube stated to news outlet Tube Filter that it took action because Onision violated the partner program's creator responsibility guidelines. These mandate that partners not engage in behavior either on or off platform that can cause widespread harm to the YouTube community and potentially damage the trust among creators, users, and advertisers. Notably, although YouTube took away Onision's ability to make money, but did not remove him from the platform, YouTube is still profiting from Onision's content. It is simply not profit sharing with him anymore.
Yeah, so, yep, he's only been demonetized for about 2 years.
But his presence is still.
It's Macrocephalus, the sperm whale person. Hey there. Welcome to the Black Files. Dropping in for that algorithm. We appreciate that.
We appreciate that.
I
but
need a fucking
getting
drink
back to the,
with alcohol.
Yeah, no. He's not making money off YouTube, but his presence is still lingering. He's still there. Not to mention,
YouTube is still making money off of his content. So much so that I have to say it. I've actually got to find. I've actually got to find the actual episode of the Black Files where we legitimately had discovered that not only was his content still generating profit and money for YouTube, but he somehow managed to get a goddamn channel set up under YouTube Kids. If you guys don't believe me, here it is. I remember that! Hi, K-Storm. That would be K-Storm in the background over here. Yeah. Yeah, checking in on their bunnies.
Geeks5 River commented, making coin or not isn't the point. This piece of shit is still on YouTube. Give his ass the boot.
If it was only that easy.
If it was only that easy. Yeah, no, if only.
See, I covered all this. I covered all this over here. This was put out back in, back a year ago. This pig. This disgusting pig man.
Hello, Adriana G. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, Adriana's been on here. Yeah, she's saying hi. I guess Adriana has been hopping in and out. I don't know. I guess I'm trying
Which is fine. That's okay. We really do appreciate you joining in. Yeah, no. So, yeah, no. And this piece of text, along with everything else that's documented about YouTube's part in this whole situation, clearly shows that, you know what, YouTube is equally responsible for allowing Onision to still make content, not make money, but make content on his channel,
and have a platform on it all.
And while having a platform on it, while YouTube still makes money off of it, while YouTube still makes a profit.
But
even though, despite being aware of everything, a bit of evidence, every bit of story that confirms all of the rumors, all the suspicions of Onision and his character,
and lack thereof. I still can't believe he was literally trying to go through this stupid phase where he tried to change his online name to quote-unquote character. He was like, I am character. I play different characters. So nothing that I say or do is actually real. Except for when he fucking did this shit to a child! Over 3-4 fucking years! And then he has a fucking nerve to try to equate himself as a victim? saying that he's like Johnny Depp, that, oh, he's such a victim, he's just like Johnny Depp because he's being harassed and that he's being fucking like extorted and harmed by this little girl.
Yeah, Onision is the last person to use the comparison to Johnny Depp.
I'm a cool dad. I let my kids stay up until midnight.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. Dude, yeah, cool off. Why do you think I was trying to take over to read for you so that you can have enough time to relax?
I know. Well, this is not a relax-worthy fucking problem with this guy.
But if you're going to continue this story, it is important for you to try to relax, even if it's for a couple of minutes.
Fine, you go ahead and say something over here.
Okay, so
What is yours?
what I was gonna say, since we've covered the YouTube part of this, do you want me to keep going here on the causes of action? Count one.
Causes of action, count one. That would
Violation.
be
Yeah, the violation of the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act.
Under U.S. Code. It's 18 subsection 1591A1 and 1595. Go ahead, Jose.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and read it, and at any point you want me to stop, just let me know to stop.
No, keep
okay?
going.
No.
Read.
Plaintiff realleges and incorporates by reference all prior and subsequent paragraphs as if fully incorporated herein. Defendants Onision and Laney knowingly used the instrumentalities and channels of interstate and foreign commerce to facilitate violation of 18 USC 1591A1 and 1595A occurring within the territorial jurisdiction of the United States. Defendants Onision and Laney's conduct was in or affected interstate and or foreign commerce. Plaintiff was a minor of 14 years old when the allegation began, and the trafficking of plaintiff continued and was ongoing until plaintiff was 18 years old, whereupon it concluded. Both Onision and Laney knew, or were in reckless disregard of the fact, that plaintiff had not attained the age of 18 for the times when plaintiff was a minor during this trafficking activity. Laney groomed plaintiff to believe there was a romantic connection between the two. Laney also groomed plaintiff, knowing plaintiff admired and looked up to her as a celebrity. Laney, in coordination with Onision, then used that grooming to lure, recruit, solicit, and entice minor plaintiff to travel to their house for the purpose of engaging in sex acts with her. To further maintain power and control over plaintiff, Laney and Onision obtained power of attorney and guardianship over plaintiff. While an adult at the age of 18, after years of grooming, Sarah was pushed to participate in a threesome with Onision and Laney. While Sarah only agreed to engage in kissing with Laney, Onision then used the opportunity to R plaintiff. Laney participated in the sexual acts while Onision was therefore engaged in the act of R-ing plaintiff. Plaintiff received something of value for engaging in sex acts. To wit, Onision and Laney allowed her to live with them. They paid for some of her travel to and from their house. They allowed her to participate in Onision's YouTube videos on his channel, and Laney, acting in concert with Onision, showered plaintiff with love and affection, which was extremely valuable to plaintiff. Onision received something of value as part of the sex trafficking, to wit, Onision was able to R plaintiff and achieve a sexual conquest over this young girl. Defendants Laney and Onision's conduct has caused plaintiff serious harm, including, without limitation, physical, psychological, financial, and reputational harm.
All right, count two. I'll pick this up. Benefiting from a sex trafficking venture in violation of the Trafficking Victims Protection Reauthorization Act, U.S. Code 18, subsection 1591A2 and 1595. All defendants. This includes YouTube. This is the part where Neil, Auntie Susan's successor, Uncle Neil, where he's going to have to nut up or shut up. Plaintiff realleges and incorporates by reference all prior and subsequent paragraphs as if fully incorporated herein. Defendants knowingly use the instrumentalities and channels of interstate and foreign commerce to facilitate violations of U.S. Code 18, subsection 1591A2 and 1595A occurring within the territorial jurisdictions of the United States. Defendants' conduct was in or affected interstate and or foreign commerce. Plaintiff was a minor of 14 years old when the allegations began, and the trafficking of plaintiff continued and was ongoing until plaintiff was 18 years old, whereupon it finally concluded. Both Onision and Laney knew or were in reckless disregard of the fact that plaintiff had not attained the age of 18 for the times when the plaintiff was a minor during this trafficking activity. Laney groomed plaintiff to believe there was a romantic connection between the two. Laney also groomed plaintiff, knowing plaintiff admired and looked up to her as a celebrity. Laney, in coordination with Onision, then used that grooming to lure, recruit, solicit, and entice minor plaintiff to travel to their house for the purpose of engaging sex acts with her. To further maintain power and control over plaintiff, Laney and Onision obtained power of attorney, and upon information and belief, guardianship over plaintiff. While an adult age of 18, after years of grooming, Sarah was pushed to participate in the threesome with Onision and Laney. Yeah, okay, this part we know. Okay, YouTube was notified multiple times that Onision was harming young people with his platform, but continued to profit share with him, and it did not curtail his harmful abuse of the terms of service and community guidelines. Other YouTubers began making videos and asking YouTube to intervene because of the harm that was occurring specifically to Sarah when Onision and Laney had moved this minor child into their home and were grooming her. Defendant YouTube knowingly benefited or should have known that it was benefiting from assisting, supporting, or facilitating a violation of 1591A1. Defendant YouTube knowingly benefited from such participation by receiving financial compensation and or something of value for its participation in the venture. Defendants were collectively participating in a venture in which they knew or should have known was engaging in sex trafficking. Plaintiff received something of value for engaging in sex acts to wit. Onision and Laney, this part we know. Onision received something of value to wit, conquest of the girl. Defendant's conduct has caused plaintiff serious harm. Okay, this part we know. Now, count 3, civil remedies for personal injuries related to sex trafficking. U.S. Code 18.
You want me to read this one?
Subsection 2255 and 1591A.
Do you want me to read this one?
I can do it.
Okay.
Plaintiff realleges and incorporates is here therein. Yep, United States, 14. Okay, both Onision and you. Yep, all relevant to the lawsuits were at all relevant times to this lawsuit. Defendants Laney and Onision were adults. Plaintiff was a victim of sex trafficking as set forth in U.S. Code 18, subsection 1591A, which provides that any person commits a federal crime who, quote, knowingly, 1, recruits, entices, harbors, transports, provides, obtains, advertises, maintains, patronizes, or solicits by any means a person, or 2, benefits financially or by receiving anything of value from participation in a venture which has engaged in said same. Knowing or in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threat of force, fraud, coercion will be used to cause the person to engage in a commercial sex act, or that the person has not attained the age of 18 years and will cause to engage in a commercial sex act. Laney groomed plaintiff to believe there was a romantic connection between the two. Laney also groomed plaintiff knowing plaintiff admired and looked up to her as a celebrity. Lure, yep. Oh, adult of 18, yeah. Sarah, yeah. YouTube was multiplied multiple times, yep. Okay. Plaintiff received something of value. Onision something of value. Okay, 390, page 59. As approximate result of defendant's violation of U.S. Code 18, subsection 1591A, plaintiff suffered serious harm and personal injury, including without limitation physical, psychological, financial, and reputational harm. U.S. Code 18, subsection 2255 provides that any person who is a victim of a violation of one of the several federal laws prohibiting sexual offenses against children, including 18, U.S. Code, subsection 1591, and who suffers personal injury as a result of such violation shall recover the actual actual damages a such person sustains or liquidated damages in the amount of $150,000 and the cost of action, including reasonable attorney's fees and other litigation costs reasonably incurred. Additionally, subsection 2255 authorizes the award of, quote, punitive damages and such other preliminary and equitable relief as the court determines to be appropriate. Plaintiff has suffered personal injury as a result of defendant's violations of the federal laws listed in paragraph A of U.S. Code 18, subsection 2255. Plaintiff intends to prove her actual damages as a result of each of the defendant's actions. At minimum, plaintiff intends to seek liquidated damages in the amount of $150,000 against defendants, as well as the cost of action, including reasonable attorney's fees and other litigation costs reasonably incurred, pre-judgment and post-judgment interest, and such other relief as the court deems appropriate. U.S. Code 18, subsection 2255, contains non-limiting language which allows plaintiff to remedy violations of U.S. Code 18, subsection 1591A, and other criminal predicates under Chapter 110 that do not benefit from CDA 230 immunity. God almighty, this shit. I'm trying to double check over here exactly where all this is pinned on YouTube. Exactly. Civil remedies, coercion, and enticement. Okay, this is all basically spilling out everything that Laney and Onision and YouTube would be liable for, which the magic number looks like 150 grand. Hey, Greg, you got that money? I don't think he does. I don't think he's got a fucking red cent to his name anymore. Punitive damages and equitable relief, as the court determines as to be appropriate. Plaintiff is suffering personal injury as a result of defendant's violations of the federal laws listed in paragraph. Yep. At minimum. Yep. Count 5. He alleges. Yep. Okay. From defendants on East End Lady. Defamation per se. Count 6. Defamation per se. Defendant Onision. This one's pinned solely on Greg, Jose. And that's on page 65. So this is nearly it. Plaintiff realleges and incorporates by reference all prior and subsequent paragraphs as fully incorporated herein. Defendant Onision uttered and published words inputting a lack of chastity, dishonesty, and criminality to plaintiff in his, quote, goodbye videos. These videos were posted on YouTube on September 21st, 2022 and were available for public viewing. These videos were in fact viewed by many people. In the first of these 3 videos, Onision falsely stated that 1. Sarah told Onision that she would, quote, destroy his life and would only agree to, quote, not destroy his life specifically if she had got what she wanted. 2. Onision broke up with Sarah because he was being, quote, sexually extorted. 3. Sarah was, quote, paid to lie, quote, in association with Discovery Plus and Chris Hansen. 4. Discovery Plus and or Blackfin paid Sarah, quote, $40,000 for R-ing him. 5. Sarah R'd him. Sarah performed sexual extortion, which is synonymous with R. The subsequent videos that Sarah's an R. Sarah has been discussed openly and frequently on online forums. Individuals have researched who Sarah is and harassed her as a result of Onision's publications. As a direct and proximate cause of the foregoing, plaintiff has suffered damages to her feelings, which have formed a psychological and emotional injuries, emotional distress, and mental anguish. Prayer for relief. Wherefore the plaintiffs demand judgment against all defendants on each of the above referenced claims and counts as follows. That the court award plaintiff compensatory, consequential, general, and nominal damages in an amount to be determined at trial. B. That the court award punitive or exemplary damages in the amount to be determined at trial. C. That the court award to plaintiff the costs and disbursements of the action, along with reasonable attorney's fees, costs, and expenses. D. That the court awards pre- and post-judgment interest at the maximum legal rate. And E. That the court grant all such other relief as it deems just and proper. So that's it. So, Joseph, are you still with me there? Jose.
Yeah, I'm still here. I've been listening this whole time.
Folks, this guy's fucked. This guy's finished. A, he won't have $100,000. B, there's no way in hell that he'll be able to go to his fans to spot him 150 fucking grand. See? Even if he did, he'd likely try to hoard it for himself before actually sharing that as part of it being an escrow or anything like that versus as what he owes in his damages. So he's going to fight this tooth and nail. He's going to fight this with every fiber of his being. And he'd better lose. He really does need to lose on this one. It's time. It's time for Greg to face the music. To face actual good music. I know we've got folks who are watching and who are listening in. I appreciate every single one of y'all over here. Do me a favor, folks. Let me know what you all need to say. Let me know what you all need to think. I feel like I'm screaming into the void right now.
No. Listen. Everybody's been listening to you. They've been chiming in on the chat. Wancho, you're fine. You're doing good.
You really think so? Because I feel like I'm trying not to be insensitive. I'm trying not to be freaking messed up in any way regarding either Regina or Sarah just by talking about all this. But there's...
No. Listen to me. What you're doing is important. This is informative. You are informing our audience about everything that this guy has committed, along with his accomplice, his accomplice Kai, and how they've both been able to get away with it, how they've both been able to dodge facing repercussions because of who they are.
I don't even think it's because of who they are. I don't know what in the world they're doing that's keeping them free and active in the public. I really don't know. But all we're getting right now is that these lawsuits have been filed. From what from information that I was gathering online from other folks who are following the story, there is reports of Greg actually trying to dodge being served these papers. There actually does come a point where he can no longer avoid them, and he would actually end up having to be responsible for everything under a summary judgment. We haven't hit that point yet. We haven't reached that point.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to look up the Twitter profile of the person who's tracking this guy. Give me a second.
No, by all means, you're fine. Go right ahead and do what you got to do. That being said, Juancho, I did went past my limits, so I am going to go ahead and head to bed. Juancho?
You're going to go to bed?
Yes, I actually do need to go. I usually do need to go to bed.
Go ahead and let folks know what we can expect this Thursday. So tomorrow night at 10 p.m. for this week's edition of Wrestle Rewind.
Well, before we get to that, I actually do want to give my final thoughts on the Onision story. Yes. So my final thoughts is this. Yes, for the longest time now, Onision has been dodging. He has been dodging. Being served his comeuppance, his repercussions, much similar to how Neo dodges the bullets in the Matrix. But I don't think he's going to be able to dodge it this time. This time, I think he will actually, like you said, he will actually face the music. Like these stories, like I'm pretty sure it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop with Regina and Sarah. Like more and more. There's got to be more stories that's going to come to light on Onision. I mean, it's already everything that he's done is publicly documented. He's going down, and so is Lainey. Lainey suffered. Since Lainey is the accomplice, she should. That
Lainey,
person should
Kai,
suffer.
Lucas, yeah. his spouse.
Lady Kai Lucas, that person should suffer consequences as well.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's just putting it
all right. Yeah. Now, for a couple of announcements. For tomorrow night's edition of Wrestle Rewind, I will be covering the this week's TV special of WWE NXT's Roadblock, where the main event is Roxanne Perez defending the NXT Women's Championship against the final boss, Miko Satomura. After weeks and weeks of so much build between the two of them, with both of them respecting one another, with the true story of the strength coming from the heart, they will both collide for the championship, and I will be talking about it tomorrow night, along with the main event of this year's annual pay-per-view event of AEW's Revolution, a 60-minute Iron Man match for the AEW World Championship, as the defending champion MJF goes one-on-one against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, a former WWE World Champion in his own right. And I will be discussing all of that tomorrow night.
Thank you for that, Jose. I appreciate you trying to help me stay cool. Really could have used Angel tonight. He would have been able to help out a little too. I was going to see if maybe opening up a chat line here, see if anyone else wants to pipe up and speak. I don't know. It's okay. But Jose, I really do appreciate you helping me out tonight. And thank you.
No worries. No worries, my friend. No worries. Okay. You're doing good, Juancho, all right? You're gonna be fine. Okay?
I was just trying not to fucking lash out, and I'm just so tired and angry with this man, with this person.
I know,
but so fucking furious. Sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was gonna say, no, I understand where you're coming from. However, lashing out lashing out with that much emotion can also be damaging to you physically. Okay?
Yeah, I know. All right.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
No worries. Thank you. And by the way, everyone that's chimed in on the chat right now, we have a great community. You guys have been great. You guys have been absolutely awesome. You guys have given some your own comments, your own input into all this, and we do appreciate that. With that being said, I do wish you all good night. Do not sleep on any of the news that's similar to what we've been talking about tonight. If you see anything of this nature that happens around you, even if it's not a celebrity, if it's someone that you know in public, in real life, you need to call it out. The more people know about this, the more they can be aware of their transgressions and how best to keep themselves safe from these type of individuals. Okay, get them predators out, for goodness sake. All right. Everyone, you guys have a good night.
Thank you very much, Jose. And that was Jose Casabona, head of the Ravens flock. There he goes, and that was that. Let's see here. That sounds like some serious shit. You have no idea. Living the dream, says Adriana G. In and out, studying, living the dream to finish school. You can do it. You can do it, Adriana. I believe in you. I know that you can. I know that you're intelligent. You can get it done. Okay, and yeah, thank you, Planet Queen, for the picks that we can use for Wrestle Rewind tomorrow night. Listen, folks, I let my anger show through sometimes when I'm talking about Greg, when I'm talking about Onision, namely because I already know these stories. Having to read it aloud and I guess I've got like an empathy thing going on. I don't fucking know where like I'm putting myself in there. You know, it's like when you're reading a fantasy book or your favorite novel and you immerse yourself in the story. I've got that with almost anything that I read, except something like this, where it's explaining what happened with Sarah and how Regina was treated, was... I couldn't. Imagining this little kid, someone who was supposedly a guardian, a role model, and they force themselves on her. I was making a little gag earlier tonight saying how, oh hey, I'm a cool dad, I let my kid stay up to midnight. My kid's a teenager. And I'm responsible for their growth, for their development, for the morals and the values that K-Storm and I and Jose and Angel and everyone around us help instill into their lives. And I can't understand how anybody can do this to someone who's underaged. Oh, it's okay. I didn't fuck her until she was 18. You still weren't supposed to do that, Greg. You're responsible for this kid. You were a guardian. You were someone that she trusted. And you violated her trust by violating her body. It makes you the lowest form of scum. One that is unworthy of any form of respite, any form of relief, any form of forgiveness or understanding. You don't deserve any of that, Greg. James, Avero, Jackson, Daniel. I don't care how many fucking names you tried to hide behind, Onision. I don't care how many names you try to invoke for yourself. How many crappy self-insert young adult novels, young adult stories. I can't even call them novels because they're not even worth the paper they're written on, because you write a bunch of fucking disgusting shit in those and market that to kids, to underage teenage kids. Every fucking thing you've done has been for this express purpose. And you got him. You fucking got her. Congratulations. I hope you're proud of yourself. I'm sure at the moment you must have been. You must have been on cloud fucking 9. You got some great girl. Does that make you feel like a man? Does that make you feel like you don't have a shriveled little tiny dick? Does it make you feel like you're worthwhile? You're not. You never have been. You never will be. And Greg, the fact that you're over here scrambling to delete content online, don't believe me? Take a look right here, folks. Twitter.com/onion_critic. This person has been chronicling everything that Gregory James Jackson has been doing all his life, all his online presence, chronicling because of how much of a serial abuser Greg is, and because of how insane and how capricious his ass is when it comes to trying to curate his public image, his digital footprint, as it were. Yeah, no bullshit. He's leaving his blog behind. Yep, and he had a book that he put up. Quote retweeting to give a little extra barrier. Looks like Greg deleted a chunk of videos. This was 3 days ago. Not sure which ones yet, though. If anyone wants a specific video, I have all these videos downloaded. Take a look. This fucking hero, apparently, This fucking guy. Every single one of these that's highlighted red are videos that he's deleted. Which channel, their duration length, the archive links, and the original YouTube links. He's such an honest guy. If he's so fucking honest, why doesn't he leave that up for everyone to see? Oh yeah, Onision Vindicated live. Yeah, was the victim of sexual extortion, vindicated of grooming lies. Hey, to the federal courts in Michigan and Florida, if you need the actual content, this person is archiving all of it. They're archiving every single bit of it for this express purpose. Because of how much Greg loves to try to control his own narrative of how people perceive him. But that armor fell off a long time ago. Everyone knows what kind of a monster you are, Greg. Everyone knows what kind of an animal you are. Because only an animal that doesn't have any higher brain function, that doesn't understand, that wasn't raised right, a wild, rabid animal treats human beings like this. You did it to your spouse, you did it to your former spouses, your former girlfriends, and you did it to these girls. Why? What's so lacking in your life that you have to exert yourself this way on others? Since I've proudly flunked psychology in college enough times to know exactly what I'm talking about, I can say this with no qualification. And I can say this with absolute certainty. And by the way, for the reason I actually flunked psychology courses, it's because I hated writing APA format. I hated writing not APA format. Was it APA? I don't care. The essay formats for papers in psych class were dumb, and I couldn't word it without it making me sound like I'm blasting words onto a sheet of paper using a air cannon. Your childhood, your life is very well known, Greg. A lot of it thanks to your part. Much more of it as a result of everyone from your life having debunked the bullshit that you tried to spew. You tried to say that your father was this horrible rapist and that he was this horrible abuser. And that he was so horrible and so mean. What kind of a father would let their kids get sent to juvie? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the kind of father who's had enough of their son's bullshit tried to pick a fight and tried to harm their father while they're driving in the middle of the freaking freeway, in the middle of the road. Why? Because you had a freaking titty attack over your father's new girlfriend or whatever. So yeah. You trying to start a physical fist fight? You better believe your ass gets sent to juvie. But no, I'm so victimized. No, screw you. You need to learn, one way or another, your actions have fucking consequences, Greg. I said on Saturday why we at the Ravens flock, and myself specifically, why I had such abject disdain over you, over the state of you, over you as a person, you as a concept of a fucking person. Despite your fucked up childhood, despite you running off at the mouth while actively serving in the U.S. Air Force, and by the way, your whole thing of you being generally discharged under honorable conditions, that's military speak for you were a shitbag and you got fired. Do you have any idea how much of a shitbag you have to be fired from the Air Force without having actually caused anything? You're not even worth a dishonorable discharge. You just suck at your work. And so you were fired. despite having had a promising military career, but you couldn't get out of your own way, despite having a wife who loved you, someone who stood by you, who helped you build your channel to where it went, because that shit has sunk straight fucking down ever since. You had everything a YouTuber could ask for. Fame, money, recognition, respect, a stable house life, someone who loved you. But that wasn't enough for you, was it, Greg? Apparently, the little hole where your heart ought to be, where your soul ought to be, it's bottomless. So you try to keep pushing boundaries, seeing what other crap you could get away with. You tried to fleece the freaking federal government in your taxes because you tried to write everything off. That should have been it. You caused one of your girlfriends, your fiance at the time, Shiloh, to have a psychotic breakdown that you then filmed and put up on your channel for all the world to see. That should have been it. You went ahead and started another relationship with another fan, who at the time was also an underage teenage girl. You married them. You scrambled their brain. Because if the situation as it was being described on how Sarah was being treated is any indicator, I can only imagine how fucked up Kai or Lucas must be now. With all of that coming out. That should have been it. You brought 2 children into this world. I'm not going to mention their names. I promised I wasn't going to dox kids. I don't dox kids. I don't deal in exposing children into a world that's as chaotic, unstable, and harmful as yours. When word got out that your underage child, your toddler child, had fallen out of their second floor window of your house, hurt her head on your driveway, and while she was hollering in agonizing pain, you were on the other side of the garage door, living away from your family in this little shack that you made for yourself, this insulated, disgusting, sad hovel, in what would otherwise be a rather palatial, modest little estate. And when you finally found out that your child was hurt, your first instinct was to film them while they were screaming in pain. And then maybe call 911 and an ambulance to try to get her looked at. When all of that came out, that should have been it. No one can outrun karma forever. No matter how many stupid banana suits you wear. No matter how much mediocre, disgusting child pornography you write. No matter how many city, state, and federal laws you break. no matter how many underage teenage girls you destroy. No one escapes their fate forever. Not even you, Greg. This is what happens. And you brought all this down on yourself. And since we know for a fact that Regina and Sarah are certainly not the only ones, they are the first. They have our full-throated support of everyone here in the Ravens flock, especially me. And I hope and I pray to whatever deity has spawned this misbegotten universe, they are finally served with some form of justice. All above the law. The same law that you flout. The same one that you think is a toy. None of this was ever good enough for you. But the truth of the matter is, Gregory, you were never good enough for any of this. You were never good enough for any of the success, money, fame, friendship, love, any of the stuff that you got out of this channel, out of this platform. And you two better throw you under the bus for this. They've already got enough to deal with the Gonzalez v. Google case happening in the Supreme Court. I've been checking. I still haven't heard any judgment back on that. So you better hope to God that Google wins. Because if Google loses that case, your case that you're a part of with them will be the first thing that they're going to want to burn you for. Burn you out of the freaking platform for good. He is guilty. He is a narcissist. He doesn't know what love is. You don't treat people you love the way he's treated Regina and Sarah, Shiloh, Sky, Ayala, hell, even Lucas, Kai, Laney, Taylor Elaine, however, his spouse. They didn't deserve this. But Greg, within the bounds of the law, you will be getting exactly what you deserve. And I cannot wait to see what happens next. Okay, I gotta fucking finish the show, guys. This has been an emotional trip. Do I have anybody else left in the chat before I go? Any other comments before we go off the air? I know it's almost 1 a.m. Eastern. No, it's okay. Probably easier if I think of myself as talking to myself here. It's alright. In any case, I want to thank every one of you folks who joined in tonight. Every single one of you who joined us in reading through this. We had to do this in order to try to get a grasp of the consequences of all this. And we're going to be here to continue coverage. And Planet Q Screen, you're still here. I'm wrapping up. Thank you for sticking it out. And we appreciate the photos you sent. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Planet Q Screen. I'll make sure Jose gets them for tomorrow night. And I want to thank each and every one of you folks for joining us on another episode of the uncensored, uncompromising interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock, The Black Files, hosted by myself, Mr. Juan Arauz, as we bring you an in-depth look into the darker side of nerd and pop culture. Get your access live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. Hit the subscribe or the follow button, ring the notification bell, become an inner flocker by hitting the join button. We also have a Cash App, we also have our merch store, we also have a Stream Elements for a tip jar that goes to our PayPal. And if you want to support us, you're free to do so. Until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Twitch.tv/TheRavensFlockOnline, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell right here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, humble home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and the Ravens Flock. For Jose Casabona, Earth and Sky with a final last-minute $2 super chat with a heart emoji. Thank you so much, Earth and Sky. For Jose Casabona, Angel Mendez, I am Juan Arauz. This has been the Black Files, and we are out.